Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining our podcast, Moms on the Move. I'm Jen Wills.
And I'm Jennifer Stess.
We have two ladies today from Jasmine Road. We have Tori Nicolay and Elsbeth Cheney. Wink. So I go back with Elsbeth to sports club. She teaches there, and you have for years.
About 10 years now.
10 years. Okay. So you were like my instructor in a lot of the classes. And I always thought her name was Elizabeth the whole time until recently. I think I actually pulled someone over and I was like, wait, what did they call her?
Els works.
Els works. Els. Okay. So Els and Tori are here, and you both work at Jasmine Road. Not you.
No.
We wish you did. We love Elsbeth. I am the operations director.
Supports.
at
But you're
Jasmine Road.
involved.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Elsbeth, we probably met probably three or 4 years ago. And I guess you can tell about how we all connected originally with GCMSA.
So about 4.5 years ago, I accepted the role as president-elect of the Greenville County Medical Society Alliance, which is a mouthful just to say physicians, spouses, volunteer group, and community outreach. So we work to advocate for physicians, but also do a lot of in-community work. So I'm trying to think of my year. There's usually some big fundraising event to kind of like cap off the year. And it started as a joke in some of the classes at sports club that, it's usually kind of techno dance type music. And we all said we should go out dancing, but I don't want to go out dancing in heels and a dress. I want to wear my gym clothes so I can actually dance.
Right.
I know.
Yes.
Luckily, it's much more accepted now than it was.
It is. It's very accepted.
Come a long way.
And so then I thought, well, shoot, I've got this opportunity. I could make my own dance club where everyone wears their gym clothes and do it for a really good cause. And so then I had to find the cause.
Okay.
And so right around that time, someone had said to me, have you heard of Jasmine Road? They're new to the area. They're just opening up because this was in 2017.
Okay.
And they opened in 18.
Yes.
Okay.
I said, I haven't, but I'll look them up. And so I looked them up and just started reading, and everything about them just felt right and felt like what we needed to do in the community. A couple years before that, we had a meeting where we learned about how bad this area really is for trafficking, and I had no idea.
Horrible.
No idea.
Yeah.
Isn't
it shocking?
It's shocking.
Greenville was listed as one of the top 10 worst cities, which you think of Greenville, it's this family-oriented place, and you just don't assume for a second that would be possible. But I think due to our location, right? We're between Atlanta and Charlotte on the 85 interstate. And so, but yeah, that I was equally shocked when I found out statistics of it.
Yeah. So it felt like an urgent need. I thought that their method based on the thistle farms, and even down to just my color I chose for the year was yellow, and that's their big yellow for the jasmine flower, and it just felt like the perfect fit. So I reached out and said, hey, I want to create this fundraiser. I would love to, make you guys the beneficiary.
Okay.
What should I do? And that's when I started talking to Beth Messick, who's the executive director of Jasmine Road. And it just started to roll. And it's evolved over time, thanks to the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we were originally scheduled for May of 2020. And like everything else that year, didn't happen.
Right.
So we've now postponed 3 times. But we've settled on a more outdoor location,
Okay.
So that we can feel safe in having an event with people around. Also, just, again, being tied to physicians, we had to be extra responsible and careful, and because not a good image to hold a big super spreader event, no matter how great the cause is.
Right.
So I feel good about, our new location at the Runway Cafe Hangar.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so it'll be covered. but open air and easy parking.
Yes.
So Club SPANDEX
Club
is
Spandex.
coming.
I just love that.
Yes. Club Spandex.
So no cocktail dresses, no high heels.
That's my kind of
shoes.
jam.
Something
It's
you
like
can
New
dance
Year's
in.
Eve. New Year's Eve, we get together as like a group of neighbors, and I'm always like, jammies?
Yeah.
Obviously. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm not getting dressed up for you. Never.
Way more fun.
So tell us about your involvement then with Jasmine Road and Jasmine Kitchen, kind of how they
Sure.
intertwine.
Well, I joined Jasmine Road on staff just about 3 years ago now, in an admin capacity. So I was just part-time. I was sort of finishing up. I had a public relations and marketing company that I started myself and was working from home, and just really was missing being a part of the community. And I was fairly new to Greenville. So it was a serendipitous meeting of us coming together, and Beth Messick, our executive director, needed someone to do admin work. And so I joined the team, and then pretty quickly moved into a full-time role, and it just sort of morphed into my operations position. So Jasmine Road, as Elspeth had mentioned, we opened in 2018 with one safe home with a capacity for 5 women.
Mm-hmm.
And we are just about to launch a second home, which is tripling our capacity to be able to serve 15 women in the program.
Wow. That's amazing.
Which is really, really exciting. And so the timing of this event is really good because, as we grow, our operations needs are, growing too. So the funding will be instrumental in helping us get that second house off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We are South Carolina's first long-term residential program for women who have survived trafficking, prostitution, and addiction. And our mission is to heal, empower, and employ survivors by providing pathways of opportunity and a lifelong community of support, which all plays into reducing the likelihood of women returning back to life on the streets, so our ultimate goal is to launch women back into the community as productive, healthy members.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, we have a social enterprise component. So when the women are in the program for the 2 years, they go through several phases. The first phase is really focused on rest and heal. And we introduce all kinds of trauma-informed services, and addiction recovery is a huge piece to their program as well. So they do 90 meetings in 90 days, and they have a recovery sponsor. They work with therapists, and we do all kinds of different therapy modalities: equine therapy, horticulture, pottery, joy building opportunities, hikes at Falls Park or wherever, all kinds of different ways for them to sort of start rebuilding their lives and connect with themselves and think about what they might want to do with their life. So they'll work very closely with our residential program staff in creating their goals and what they want to do after they graduate Jasmine Road. They start kind of thinking about what they might want to do. So the second phase of the program is really focused on starting to work. And if they haven't gotten their GED, that's when they would work on that as well. And then also thinking about continuing education. We actually have 2 of our graduates graduated from Greenville Tech with human services degrees.
That's awesome.
So that was something that we were super excited about. And so there is that opportunity as well, depending on what the interests are. But all the ladies will work at Jasmine Kitchen, which is our lunch cafe. It's our social enterprise.
You brought some?
I did, yes. We serve soup, salads, and sandwiches Monday through Friday, 11 to 2:30 p.m. And we also have box lunch catering. We have a retail space where you can buy some of the products that the women make. The social enterprises also include candle making and jewelry making.
Literally, the candles are amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
They're beautiful, and they're also great for gifts too. We do a lot of care packages. So if you have a loved one who is celebrating something or sick, you can have a care package sent to them or delivered to them as well. So the menu is rotating every couple of weeks, so it's very seasonal. So we're constantly changing what's on the menu. Everything is good. I've loved it.
And it's all delicious.
Elizabeth just sent me a text the other day saying how much she loved everything she tried that day.
One of the soups was phenomenal. I don't remember the name because it had a crazy name. You probably know, but
was it a curry?
yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
Delicious. So, but the whole reason for the social enterprise is to provide opportunity for women to learn sustainable job skills that will sustain them throughout their time at Jasmine Road and working in, our enterprises, but also beyond that, if they want to go into some other field, it provides that opportunity. And a learning in a safe, nurturing environment is a really important thing to us too.
How many women have gone through this?
So let's see. We, in 2020, had our first 3 graduates. So we started out with 5 ladies in the program.
Yep.
There are ladies who don't finish the program. That is a reality that they might, return to life on the streets or they're just not ready yet. But we always keep a door open. So we have had some women who left the program, but they were able to come back. I think we have served maybe 25 women in our residential program to date since 2018. So that's a mix of current residents, women who've graduated, and then ladies who left the program for one reason or another. However, our graduation rate is something we're really proud of. It is 100% for those who finish phase 2 of the program.
Wow.
And then 60% for those who finish phase 1.
Okay.
So that is a really great number in both cases for women, especially in this population. We work really hard with the ladies to, look at what a healthy relationship is, and the relationships and the network that they build while they're at Jasmine Road is one of the main contributing factors to their success is those relationships. And they have not had a great model for what a healthy relationship is for the most part, leading up until being in the program. So
slow down too.
Well, we had, I think there's like such a misconception about actual sex trafficking and what that looks like. Like I remember it was a few years ago and I'm not sure if you remember this, but everyone's like, be careful at Walmart, be careful at Target. They're taking your babies and they're bringing them into this like sex trafficking ring. And of course I was like, oh my God, I can't go there anymore. But that's not really what the reality of what it actually looks like.
Yep.
It's a much longer process than like stealing someone. It's being groomed. And so Can you explain a little bit what?
Well, there's a lot of things that human trafficking is not. It's not something that is super obvious. It is not age, race, or nationality specific. It doesn't look like any one person who could be a trafficker. I mean, there's a whole range of people who are involved in human trafficking. It is a very underreported crime, one of the most underreported. And there's
already it said 2.5 million, something like that, like last year. Not in Greenville, but
yeah. And so that's just the cases that have been reported. Because a lot of times, and like you said, the grooming piece, a trafficker is going to prey on someone's vulnerability and their sort of longing and desire for that basic need of love and belonging that all humans have, right? And so if a woman or anyone has had a childhood or upbringing and experiences of poverty, incarceration, addiction, child abuse, domestic abuse, complex trauma.
You're a target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that, the trafficker comes along and it's like, hey, baby, I'm going to take care of you. I love you. And so that bond begins, right? So they have that trauma bond with their trafficker who they would, lovingly possibly call their boyfriend. So a lot of times women don't want to rat out somebody who they felt was someone who loved them and they cared about. And so you find that there's a lot of reasons it's underreported because of that, but also there's a lot of re-traumatizing of going back through what has happened to you in reporting some of this. I mean, so there's that aspect too.
They can't just put it behind them and move on. They've got to
and detail,
expose
and detail everything, and then be involved in the justice system part of it. So it's a long road to go down that path as well.
If they're in the world that they're in, how do they know about you? How do they know about their world? How do they find something? I mean, this is a gift. What the two of you do. How do people, I mean, in that world, I couldn't imagine, of course, how traumatizing and how disconnected you are from everything to find you.
Well, we have a lot of community partners that we work with who will send us referrals. We have an application on our website. We have, an outreach program that Beth, our executive director, does in the detention center. So she teaches a trauma group, and she's able to work with ladies who might be potential candidates for Jasmine Road. And she connects with them. And so, our team has a lot of connections with women who are still out there on the streets. They may be, they may have been in Beth's group at one point. And so those connections are, it's building trust over many, many years. Sometimes it might take a lady, a couple of years to even consider coming to Jasmine Road. Maybe she's just not ready yet. So it really just is a case-by-case thing. But as we grow, I think awareness is, growing about Jasmine Road and what we do. But I mean, we work with women 18 and up, and that's just one segment of the population of
Law enforcement help you at all? Do you connect at all?
We do work closely with law enforcement, and that's a really good relationship for us to have. We also work with the hospitals, and there's social workers who a lady might come in for something, and they recognize that there may be some signs there, and so we're constantly taking calls from all kinds of providers out there who might see something that is a way for us to provide resources. And so one thing that we do is we don't just serve the ladies who are currently in our program and continuing on with our graduates. We also serve hundreds of other women who, for one reason or another, it wouldn't make sense for them to come to Jasmine Road at this time. However, there might be another program that we could refer them out to, or maybe there's, other resources that we can provide.
So it's kind of, you have like an inpatient kind of, because you have the housing. And is there an outpatient option too, where they don't come necessarily to stay, but they have, they might come and do other parts?
I would say that sort of case management, helping women, after they've applied, or even if they've just called in for information, that would be that part of it.
Right.
We never close a door, and we always answer the phone. So we know that there's not a lot of programs like ours that can provide resources and just the time and care. And so we do a lot of work in that area. And the wait list, which I guess you could kind of say that's sort of along the outpatient lines of this, we have anyone who's on the wait list will call in. And so we have constant communication with them until a bed becomes available and they can join us and come into the program. So it's a lot of building relationships and providing resources and as much case management and support as we can provide for the ladies who aren't currently in the program.
We just had a podcast on like internet safety.
That was really good. I
It was
really
shocking.
enjoyed that.
I don't know if we had the conversation on the podcast or if it was like, of course, after it was over.
Cover some.
Yeah. But what really got me was him saying what he sees. Again, I think like with the internet predators, even you imagine something in your head. You're imagining like these creepy guys in a dark apartment and they're befriending under like, someone else's name, like kids. He said the reality was opposite. It was tended to be white collar males married with kids, and they would spend years grooming these kids, thinking, these children online, telling them that they're their age and blah, blah, blah. And they established that trust. And so people have that like patience, and it's not just necessarily the same thing like with the trafficking. It takes time to build and to get to that point. Again, it's not like that movie Taken and you're stolen and it's this whole grooming process that's so scary anymore in many different ways.
And most predators are that way. They work that way.
Right. Which is scarier to think about. The reality
they take
of what's out
time
there.
and they gain trust and they get you to trust them and love them.
And
Yes.
they're
Scary.
people that other members of the community would look at and say, "Oh yeah, he's such a great guy. Like, great."
You would never think.
or
Or they don't have that look.
yeah, they don't fit.
I'm trying so hard to tell my kids that. I'm like, Gary, because they'll say bad guy. Is that a bad guy? And I'm like, no, anyone can be a bad guy. Like that's what I just keep telling them. Like anyone's. It's not like Darth Vader.
Right.
They're not. That's not going to be who it looks like. It's being careful, and knowing who to trust. And but it's so good that we have resources and places for people to go, like what you guys offer.
I liked a lot of what Rick said in that conversation that y'all had, and it does dovetail into some of what we're talking about. I think that point of, when you give your child a phone, you're not just giving them access to the world, you're giving the world access to them. And so that really stuck out to me because we say that a lot as well. But, I think that, it's important to talk about these things.
Yeah, it is.
And so I was excited that you guys had a conversation with him. I thought that was really good.
Okay, so Club Spandex. Let's talk about Club.
The Club Spandex.
And this is something anybody could do?
Anyone can
come.
come.
Yes,
Okay.
it is open to the public.
This is like 4 years in the making.
Yes.
Yes.
So
We're really
gonna
Is
excited.
do
it like an 80s vibe?
We're going, maybe a little Olivia Newton-John.
Okay,
like
because in my
neon
head it was
colors
like an
and-
80s vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. There'll be glow sticks and bracelets and black lights and that whole vibe going.
So it's April 2nd.
April 2nd, a Saturday
Saturday.
from 6 to 10 p.m.
Okay.
at the Runway Cafe hangar. And tickets are on sale on Eventbrite.
Okay.
If
How
you
much are the
don't-
tickets?
They're $50.
Okay.
That includes, the evening of dancing, and we get a boxed meal from Jasmine Kitchen, so you get to try the food for yourself. And then we're also giving away, instead of a T-shirt, because we all have too many T-shirts, we're giving away a fanny pack with the logo, because that was part of the running joke too. But we, sometimes your purse even just gets in the way,
It's
and
in the way.
Yeah.
Always.
it's hard to dance, but you can't leave it in the corner.
Right.
So a fanny pack is just the perfect solution
really
because it's all
is.
right there. and
Fanny
it's
packs need to
hands-free.
make. I mean, I know they were trying to make a comeback, but I don't feel like it came full circle.
We're going to give it a gentle nudge again.
Okay, we're doing it.
You can meet new people too.
Yeah.
Do you speak at the event?
I will probably end up somewhere in the front at some point. We will have Beth Messick will be there to speak about Jasmine Road and kind of give the educational component to the event for the community awareness. And they also have a presentational video that they've put together
Okay.
that kind of shows, some of the women in action and a little more background of Jasmine Road and their mission. The event actually was awarded an AHEI, which is Allied Health Education Initiative grant, because of the need to educate the public and get the awareness out there. So we are 100% including that as part of the event. We also have a huge raffle.
Ooh.
We have like over 50 prize packages, over $10,000
Wow.
worth
Goodness.
of things that you can win. So if you get your ticket, you get to come and win some
I
really
know.
fun things from all over Greenville.
That's
Greenville
awesome.
is such an amazing community as far as like giving back.
They
and
are. I know.
Yes. It's
Mhm.
amazing how Greenville has wrapped its arms around what we do and supporting an event like this.
Mhm.
We're so grateful to be here, and I'm
Is
excited.
there-
It's going to be a lot of
Is
fun.
there a limit? It's amazing. A limit to the amount of people that can come?
I think
Hangar
the
sounds
space
really big.
will hold 220,
Okay.
according to the fire marshal.
Okay.
We are going to have a large tent to expand the space a little more, and that way, if you get really tired dancing, you can sit down and eat your meal.
Is it like free dancing or like
So we're going to have a DJ,
Okay.
Lights.
lights. He's got, I think, some fog
Yeah.
that he can roll out. We're going to have a photo booth so you can take pictures and send them out. Who knows if there'll be a Cupid shuffle or something thrown in there,
Right.
but the idea is just to come and have a
I
great
remember
time.
the last time I danced. I mean, I guess at a wedding maybe a few years ago, but
right? And that's not often enough.
no.
Yeah, no, it's really not.
My kids,
I'm
we threw
trying to
like a
remember.
foam party
Oh.
a few years ago for Bennett last
Mhm.
summer, and
That's fun.
they had this music going, but I didn't want to run and like trample the kids. I wanted to be like,
You did a dance in your hallway.
I did. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
You did it then. And you videoed it. Remember that
Oh, I
one?
did.
Yeah. That was good. You're ready.
I'm
You're-
ready.
Ready. And I think, any excuse for a good girls' night.
Right.
Men are invited. Men can come.
Yeah.
My husband will be there. But I know a lot of people said, oh, I'm getting the girls because,
Yes.
most of us have reached that point in life where we have kids and responsibilities, and just going to the club is not
Mhm.
a feasible thing. And their hours are more like 10 to 2.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but 10 o'clock sounds like a great time to end it and go home.
Oh yeah. Of course. I'm like 9 o'clock.
I know.
Well, thank
For a
you,
special
ladies,
occasion.
so much. So, again, I want to go over these cute products you brought. So there's
Definitely.
bracelets, candles, and these are all made by the women at Jasmine Road. Jasmine Kitchen is open. It's located off Augusta Road,
503 Augusta.
503 Augusta, and it's open weekdays from 11 to
2:30.
2:30. Okay, perfect. And then the proceeds are going straight to.
Mhm.
Yep, 100%.
That's awesome.
We also have a text to give link that
Okay.
people can, if they aren't able to join at the event, but they can text Club Spandex, all one word, to
Okay.
44321. They want to make a donation. We also
Okay,
included
great.
that for those who won't be able to dance with us that night.
It's going to a great cause, everyone. So please think about going. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thank you very
of
much.
course. We'll try to make it to
Wonderful.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Girls' night.
Everybody come.
Yes. We want to thank our sponsors real quick. We want to thank Nest Realty, Leisa Johnson with Fairway Mortgage, Parham Smith Archenhold, Blackacre Law, Browning Studio, and Bodyworks. So we also want to thank Southern Girl Chic for dressing us and Penny Posies for the floral arrangements. Thanks everybody for your support. And if you want more information, you can go to, where's the website? They can find you.
JasmineRoad.org.
JasmineRoad.org. Yeah. JasmineRoad.org, and come to Club Spandex April 2nd. Yes. Thank you, everyone.
you.
We look forward to seeing you next time.